Weird, depending on where you're watching this from. We're doing another late night live because that's what I seem to do lately. So I'm working on, believe it or not, another packer. You might have noticed from the title. And this one is in the color, I call it Rainbow 2 because I have two variegated rainbow yarns. I have this one. Now this particular color, so this is a big twist cotton, but it's not always in stock. And now I never know if it's in stock because my Joanne app won't update. But Premier also makes the identical yarn. So I do have backup when inevitably something happens to the big twist yarn. So I got some barf that I'm working through, and I'm just going to work on a packer. I've been on top of my orders. I never know when something big is going to come. It's probably not, but I've been trying to stay ahead of the curve. Also, I have a bunch of not Halloween, holiday gifts that I want to make, and I want to keep on working on the blank but make it Halloween challenge, which I need to actually do something for soon. I don't know. I just I mean the garland for the Christmas tree that's spider webs. I mean, it makes sense. It's straightforward. Patterns are out there. I just I'm not super excited about it because we aren't even gonna have a tree. So I really just don't feel like doing it, if I'm being honest. Maybe I could try some acrylic paint and just paint a tree and then paint cobwebs on it and spiders and all kinds of spooky yuki stuff. Now that I think about it, that would be a lot faster and I would be a lot less miserable. I'm not good at acrylic painting, but practice makes perfect, as we know. So I am, probably just do that. So I want to continue that challenge because that's very fun, very challenging to do. And so I want to do that, and then I got to make gifts for everybody. I did just buy a pattern tonight, which I am super excited about. I've seen this pattern quite a bit on the internet, but I haven't known where to get it. I've seen people make it, or maybe even the maker posted a YouTube short or something on it, and I have not known what to search for. If you're wondering what that pattern is, you can actually share it with you all. So it is a crochet pattern. I bought it off of Etsy. I'm trying to see how I can share this link and have it be not a fucking hot mess. Okay, let's see. Just delete this part. Does anyone else do this? Am I just cold? Okay, so I'm gonna share the pattern in the I'm actually going to put it in the description if I can. I think I can, yeah. It's called the Matrix Hood, and probably have seen it floating around. It is not my pattern, but this is the listing on Etsy, so it's in the description. So if you're watching this after the fact, you can click on the link. And it is 40% off right now. That might be just for Cyber Monday, or it might be going on longer than that. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know why you asked me these things. But I figured this would be a good time to buy it because it's 40% off. So yeah, I bought this pattern and it's really cool. It's like, so it's got part that will cover like up to like above your nose, like inside. It's kind of like an uncut penis, if you will. So it has like a piece that will go up and cover like this much, like below your eyes, and then it has a hood, and then it's got, I think, like little. Let me look at the. I guess I don't have to make it up. So it comes down here, and it actually goes around your shoulder length and snaps under your armpits, so that all of this area is covered. So you can wear the hood up, you can wear the hood down. Really cool looking pattern. Looks super cozy and comfy, especially if you live in colder climates. Then you can really adjust like what you want to. And with you know, the mouth cover and the face cover, you can pull that up or down as well. So great for like changing weather. Here, that would be really nice because the weather changes pretty rapidly, and so it goes from being like a really sunny, warm day to like 30 degrees, and you're like, wait, what? And that's just how North Carolina is. Um, so that's pretty cool. Also, it just looks really cool, if I'm being honest. Um, and I am being honest because I'm telling you it looks really cool. So yeah. Um, let's see what's going on in the life of Ian. Okay, so my wife and I are making our way through some different movie series, and so one we're watching Harry Potter again. Um, Let it be known that I have very strong feelings towards J.K. Rowling and her turf beliefs. Um, However, my wife wanted to watch it, and I would do anything for her. So that is what is happening. So if you've got a problem with that, I was gonna say take it up with my wife, but don't take it up with me. Um, and so so yeah, we're rewatching the Harry Potter series, um, and I mean it's really hard to separate the art from the artist, if you will. Um, it is hard when you know that they're a terrible person, but they made something that was so special in your like developmental life that you know, that's always something I find very hard to reconcile, is when I do have these opinions about artists or people in my life that maybe not everything they did was bad, but the bad stuff they've done is really bad. So it's like, what do you do? How do you approach that? You know, those have always been difficult decisions that I've had to make. And I think a lot of us have to make them in our lives, right? Because not everything is super, super easy for everyone. For In fact, I don't know anyone who's had a super, super easy life, so I'm not even sure that exists, but a boy can dream. 6, 7. Okie dokie, bum ba dum bum 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 bum. If you are wondering what I am drinking tonight, although I have my empty, this is empty, I should have filled it before I came in, and then I have an empty coffee cup right here. So I am down to one of my 3 drinks, and I'm drinking alcoholic Topo Chico. There's non-alcoholic Topo Chico that's not flavored and it's very good. It's like spicy water. But this is the hard seltzer version, and it's very good. I don't drink that much, but it is fun to treat yourself every once in a while if you can do so in a way that is safe to you and others. So, I let's see. So we're watching that. We're also watching the Hunger Games quartet. I don't know. On trilogy. Because they split the last one in 2 parts. But we just watched. Is Catching Fire the second one? And then it's Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. I think so. So we just watched Catching Fire, and that's my favorite movie of of the quartet. And it's, I think, where you get kind of the biggest. I don't know. It's just really entertaining to watch. So I haven't seen that in a while, so it was fun to. It's fun to rewatch these series with my wife. In the Harry Potter series, we're watching. We just finished Chamber of Secrets, so Prisoner of Azkaban is next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Prisoner of Azkaban is my second favorite Harry Potter movie. Goblet of Fire will always be my favorite. And I just, I really think that's, the best movie. But, and book. I haven't read all the books. I didn't read the last one. Hey, Lydia. I didn't read the last one because I really hated Half-Blood Prince. But, it is what it is. So what are you up to, Lydia? I am making a packer, as it says below or above or wherever it is on your screen. I have quite a few packer orders, so I've made, I think, 4 in the past 2 days or something pretty impressive for me. So I have this one and I have 2 more after it. Now, this one doesn't need to go out until the 9th, so I still have plenty of time for it, but I'm just trying to get them out of the way. Also, I need to list my new colors because I currently, if you look at my Etsy listing, I don't have my new skin tone options. And I really want to showcase that because I'm very excited about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I know I've talked here and there about it on my lives. Working on your blanket, oh nice, keeping you nice and warm. But introducing a large range of skin tones was very important for me while making my packers because I wanted representation of all skin tones for people to kind of pick what felt right for them. And before I started, like when I first started working with these, I almost exclusively used Lily Sugar and Cream. I guess with the exception of the Americana color, which is Ice Yarns, and then this rainbow, which is Big Twist, and then also Premiere. but I only had 3 skin tones, and I really wanted to do something different. Um, and not different, but I wanted to have a higher representation of skin tones, but I needed to have the right size yarn, affordability, um, easy enough to access, um, so that I could get it when I need it, and then which Hobie is not exactly the easiest, but it's not. I mean, it comes in a couple days. I can easily get it in time to make a packer if I run out of yarn, and hopefully by that time I'll be able to order ahead a little bit or something like that. Because I got 3 of each skin tone that I bought from Hobie. Now, Hobie I used to fill a very large gap that I had in my um, colors. So if you want to see what I got from Hobie, also I got like this like new cleaning device. I'm super excited about it. I ended up not cleaning today. Probably should do that instead of working on this, but I honestly forgot about it. So but yeah, so I did a haul on my other channel and posted it today. So if you want to check that out, it is available for your viewing pleasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2. So yeah, I'm just trying to get through these packer orders. I am, I guess, determined to become the packer king at this point. Yeah, so I'm just making a ton of these. I'm making them all from memory. So, there are slight changes here or there if I didn't remember something quite right. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Um, but they're all, you know, very close at the very least. So I was for a while using my clover, but my 3.5 clover, but I have not been able to find it. I've been knocking stuff off my desk all day long. It's just been like every time I touch my desk, it's like something falls, something falls. And in theory, it should be right here where it falls. But for some reason, I cannot find it. I've looked through everything right here, which isn't, I mean, I basically have a box of Caron Simply Soft, all different colors, and then I literally have just shit on top of the box, I guess. But I literally can't find my hook. I don't know what happened. Dealing with a headache. I hope I'm not getting sick again. I have a runny nose too. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, I hope you're not getting sick. You deserve a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You deserve a break. Okay, so now I'm going to do 4 rows with no increases or decreases, and this is going to start building up the shape of the packer. Um, so yeah, I am currently making a ton of these. This is pretty much the only thing that sells in my Etsy shop, even though I have a wide variety of things. Maybe it's not that wide, I don't know. But I'm just kind of like getting a little discouraged, which I know I should be happy to sell anything, which I am. Like, I truly am. I'm not taking it for granted whatsoever. but like I do wish I could kind of change it up a little bit and make some, kind of different projects. Um, yeah, I mean, I do get to stretch my creative legs for the blank but make it Halloween challenge that I'm doing for my other channel. Um, that's been really fun. I have done so many fun things that I just kind of like, I never would have dreamt of in a million years, but I'm like pattern writing and making stuff up as I go, and it's just super, super, super fun. Um, so yeah, um, that's what I've been doing. I've definitely been staying busy with the amount of crochet work that I have to do. Um, so I'm having a slight problem with my commissions. So I had a friend that sent me a bunch of pictures of, and like this is no one. I'm not like blaming anyone because if you want a commission from me, I'm more than happy to do it. But like commissions, when you're doing like something very custom, takes a lot of coordination, and I don't think a lot of people think about that when they're ready to start a commission. I think they're just like, hey, make something look like this, and there's a lot of back and forth that goes on. So like my friend was like, sent me a picture of a bunch of crocheted pants, and like was like, I'm definitely commissioning a pair of these from you. And I was like, cool, that's awesome. Yeah. Um, and I was like, hey, no pressure, but like Black Friday to Cyber Monday is when all these like really good deals are going to happen. So if you want to order yarn, this would be the time to do it because it would decrease the price. And these are my friends, so I'm trying to charge them as little as possible while still turning like a little bit of a profit. But mostly it's again just an activity for me to stretch my legs. I'm not in it to make like a huge profit. And honestly, like, I don't think you can make a huge profit off of making a huge article of clothing like pants. Like, I don't think you can do it. Unless you're like, I saw, so like on Etsy, like simple pants, like were at least $300. Um, and like we were looking at yarn, and I'm like, I see why, because like I and I was like, I don't know how much yarn I need for this, and I don't want to run out of yarn. So I was like, what if we get like 3 cakes of like all these like of these options from Hobie, because there were a lot of sales today for Cyber Monday, and they were like $10 a cake. And I was like, I bet I could do it in 3 cakes and do like use like half the cake to do like the waistband and um, had that issues people not paying me. Yeah, so like so basically I like have them at least buy the yarn so that I can like sell it, later. Um, but like then I'm not like at risk of anything. But usually I have them pay fully up front. If it's a project that I'm super like, I don't know what I'm gonna need. I don't know how long this is gonna take. If it's that kind of project, then I tend to um, just do the yarn up front and then kind of give them like an estimate of what it'll be and then give them a final price. And also, these people are generally my friends, so I have a good idea of who's gonna stand me up and who's not. Um, so the pants, like we looked through so much yarn, and I was like trying to explain like how because like she looked at like a cake of yarn and was thinking like, okay, this is enough for a pair of pants. And I was like, yeah, like I was thinking we would do like we were looking at some gradients from Hobie, and like I was like I was thinking we could do like the gradient one way, like to the crotch, and then switch up the direction of the ombre. So basically, like you have two balls, and you know. So I like she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Something like." Like, imagine this is like some kind of ombre. I was like, this is kind of what it would be like, where we have the same color going into this middle color. This would be like where we switched yarns. And I was like, because like how pants were, and I had to describe how pants are made, or like, or how I am going to be making pants, where it's like you start at the waistband and then you go down one leg, you find the middle point, and then you go down and you make one leg, and then you finish that leg, and you go up here and you finish this leg. That's the only way I've ever done pants. I've only made baby pants once, so that's what I'm gonna do, or that's what I was gonna do. Um, I suppose you could just do the legs and then attach them the to the waistband, or to like the waist to crotch. That would probably be a lot easier, and then it would be easier to get the colors right. Yeah, yeah, I'd probably do that in hindsight. But anyways, so I was like, it's probably gonna take like she's a tiny person, but like I was guesstimating three cakes of like 800 yard sport weight yarn. I don't know if that's a good estimation or not. Frankly, I don't know. Um, I don't know. But I was like, I think we can do it with that. Um, and it's like, so like it was gonna come to like that was gonna come to like $30 plus shipping, probably another 10, depending on if that site had a deal or not. Um, and so that project's on hold because I was like, I don't know how much yarn to order, and like I tried to like look at like patterns and videos to see if anyone could give me an idea of how much yarn I would be using, so I would have some kind of semblance of telling her how much to buy. And then she started looking at like smaller balls, and I was like, no, of like solid colors. And like, one, solid colors, yes, that's easier, but two, the dye lot changes. And then I was like, you buy like, I could buy like some of the yarn and then just get a head start. And then once I get kind of like moving close to it, then we could kind of do another purchase when we see that the yarn's on sale again. Because Hobie always has good deals going on. And so I was like, we could do that. But also, yarn goes out of stock. And especially if you're buying like small balls of it, like 100-gram balls, like 50 to 100-gram balls, like you're eating up all that stock, and they weren't expecting people to make fucking pants out of this. They're expecting scarves and stuff like that. So like usually they don't even have the stock for you to like get started on a big project like that. So that's why I was like, let's go with the cakes because we know they probably have the stock, and um like we can get some cool like color gradients out of it and stuff like that. So she ended up being like, hey, I just don't think I can sing it right now, which I was super cool with. I told her, I was like, this is a lot. Like, we spent hours trying to do like consulting about this, and I was just dropping so much information, and she kept on like coming up. She's like, what about this? And it would be like fingering weight yarn and be like, no. I was like, sport is like very minimum I will work with, especially for a project like pants. So I I was like, yeah, no. um, and then so that commission is on hold. She is a very good friend of mine, and I did tell her, like, hey, like, I see other people are selling them on Etsy and stuff for like 300 or so bucks, and like I don't know what like the cotton, like I don't know what the fiber content necessarily that they're using. I'm sure I could have read more in depth, but I didn't. Um, but like I guess that kind of just to me, it tells me that this yarn costs a lot and takes a lot of yarn. So she was like, yeah, let's just wait. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm kind of glad because it was a pretty big headache. So my other commission, I got a deposit down on it, which was perfect. So I could start buying some yarn. Because this is the yarn that I bought in the other yarn haul I did with this yarn. And um, she's been pretty on time with things, but I've asked her multiple times for her measurements, and she has not given them to me. And I've even been like, hey, because like she was like, I think my mom has a tape measure, and I was like, cool. And like, but then whenever I'm like, I've reminded her 3 times, and she's not responded to any of these. Which, again, grateful for the commission, but I want to make something that fits you. And if I make something that fits me, it's not going to fit you. And like, I don't even have my dress form anymore. I sold it to my sister because I'm not using it. Um, and, uh, and so like, I really need your measurements for this one. And, cause it's basically like a chest harness. It's gonna kind of fit over the head like a tank top. I'm thinking, but and I need her measurements, but uh, every time I mention something, I don't get any reply, or she replies to something else. I'm like, please, just give me your measurements so I can start working on this thing that you really want. So that's a little like distressing, I guess, but this is not me talking badly about her. I'm just kind of saying, that's the problem with commission sometimes. It's like if it is super customized, it takes a lot of back and forth, and you've got to be prepared for that level of back and forth. And I don't know how to make that part any easier. So, um, I've made wearables for other people, I've made wearables for myself, but anytime any consultation comes into it or like people pick yarn, I'm like, just it's a lot. But it's fun, but you know, I am trying to kind of grow what I can do. So I want to do commissions. I want to do custom things. I'm telling people I can do custom commissions, and I can, but I need you to be kind of present in the conversation with me. So I like doing them. My friend was like, I'm sorry I'm asking so many questions. I'm like, it's cool. Like, it's your money. Like, you get to ask as many questions as you want. I'm trying to make your role as easy as possible, where all you have to do is say, I want this color, and I am willing to pay this much. And that's really all I need. Um, but getting to that point is labor intensive. Oh, and they give me the measurements. So I am so that's kind of at a standstill. So I have packer orders, and they've been kind of pouring in, which has been super cool. This is the most consistent packer kind of packer orders session. I don't know. I've had ever, so this is really cool. But I'm just trying to get through these orders so I can make some other things. I posted an army of weirdos about the like hood um, face warmer thing. I want to make that so bad, and I'm trying to convince Mel that she wants one. I don't think she does. I'm trying to convince her that she does want one, just so I can make one. But anyways, so yeah, because I bought a lot of yarn because I was gonna make her a sweater with Red Heart brushed, and it's in like a lilac color. It's really gorgeous. I love the brush yarn. Um, but I just haven't picked it up in a long time. And so I was like, I can make it out of this yarn instead of making you a sweater. um, but yeah, that's, we'll see. She was tired. She didn't want to talk about it tonight. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to push you. Caught an extra thread there. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Where does this go? Up to here. Okay. So now that we have the 4 rows of no increases, this is what the bottom of the packer looks like. Sometimes this yarn pulls really well, and other times it just looks like a terrible hot mess. So I have mixed feelings about this yarn. I like the other rainbow, which is actually, this one's actually called Rainbow, if I'm not mistaken. This is multi-rainbow. I think Premier just calls it Rainbow as well. But the other rainbow I use is sugar and cream ombre in psychedelic, and it is a much more vibrant um, color, and the colors are a lot more saturated, and I just feel like it looks a lot better. Um, so yeah. Um, wait, did I do an increase? I did, didn't I? I was supposed to do a decrease, you doofus. Okay, so it's not coming out. Okay, we're just gonna do it again. Yeah. So working on a lot of things, have a lot of things to do. I was saying earlier, I don't think you were on yet, Lydia, that I need to work on my blank but make it Halloween challenge, which I don't even know if anyone watched my most recent one, but that's okay. It's a new channel, and so that's just bound to happen. I post videos on here sometimes, and they don't get any um, traction, so that's okay. Um, but the prompts I got were tree, so it didn't explicitly say Christmas tree, and then cobwebs. And I kind of was like, I was like, there's like really low hanging fruit where I could either put cobwebs on a Christmas tree and be like, bam, there you go. Or I was like, or I can make a cobweb garland and put that all around a Christmas tree. Well, did it just step on plastic for a canvas? And then I was like, but I'm not gonna have a Christmas tree this year. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was like, I don't really want to make this like huge long garland when I'm not even gonna have a tree to put it on. So I thought as I was sitting here starting to make this packer, I was like, what if I just painted a Christmas tree and put a bunch of Halloweeny stuff on it, a lot of cobwebs, spiders, things like that. And I was like, actually, that seems a lot better because then I don't have to worry about actually having to have a tree. So I'm doing that. Even though I am not good at acrylic painting, I'm firmly of the belief that practice makes perfect. And so I'm going to get some practice. So I'll give it a try. We'll see how it works. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I need to pull another one, because just to keep the kind of momentum going a little bit. Although I did post a video on that channel, and I'm doing this live, which is also on that channel today. So I'll post it for tomorrow, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna need a long, hard nap after this. I'm super excited. Oh, and it's a full moon tonight. Full moon in Gemini. Everybody's been talking about it. I went to 3 alumni sessions, and every single group talked about it being a full moon in Gemini. So everyone's all about full moon in Gemini tonight. So that means it would be a perfect opportunity for me to go charge my crystals. They can use a little life in them, and get some kind of positive cleansing energy. So I might do a little ritual around that. And if you're like, ritual, what are you talking about? So first of all, anything can be a ritual, right? Brushing your teeth every morning, that can be a ritual. So for me, it's all about setting my intentions, and using it as a time of taking energy, because the moon's all about energy, and emotions. And so if we can take that and we can be, if we can be mindful of that, then um, uh, we can, use that to our benefit and help kind of just have, like, well-established intentions set forward. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense, or am I just sounding like a crazy person? Because I think I'm sounding just like a crazy person. But whatever. So we don't have full moon here. It's very cloudy and cold. The moon is still full, even if you cannot see it. So, yeah, it is a full moon tonight. I got my birth chart read tonight in my astrology group, which was really cool. Because so my astrology group is part of my intensive outpatient program, which is part of my mental health treatment, right? And so they have alumni groups so that you can kind of keep building like friendships in a community once you're done with the program. And then I re-enrolled in the program for this fall, so I'm going to day classes, like day sessions, and then I'm doing alumni some nights. Mondays tend to be the busiest nights, and although I don't think I'm going to go to astrology again because I already got my reading, and I just am too exhausted after going to so many. And I also went to a neuropathic um, uh, drawing uh, thing. See if I can find the video. I swear I had it, but where is it? Oh, wait, you know what? It's probably hidden. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Okay, so that one doesn't have a back button. So what the fuck? Did I not click that link? I'm gonna be so pissed at myself. I didn't click that link. Okay, so it's called neuropathic drawing, maybe. Um, and it's a type of practice. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna try to like pause it before it starts playing anything. It's a type of mindfulness practice that I thought was really interesting. And we just started it. You don't need any artistic skill level to do this. This is pure. I'm so mindful. Um, uh, it's purely a therapeutic tool that you can use to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to to just kind of work through feelings and questions you may have. Um, so I don't have my example here, but if you watch the video that I posted, you can learn about it. Um, Again, no skill level required. You just need a marker or a really dark pen, um, and preferably like a fine tip marker, like Sharpie or something like that. And then colored pencils or something like that, watercolors. Although I do think watercolors would make most pens and Sharpies bleed, so I don't know why they do that, but okay, sure, whatever. Um, and it's just about processing through emotions and how it's kind of the connection it's supposed to make from like doing this mindful drawing. So you ask a question to start it out, and then you describe all these feelings that you feel, and you write it on the back of your piece of paper, and then you draw like a squiggle, and then you everywhere there's an intersection, you round out the edges, which they describe beautifully in that video. Um, and um, then, like, the teacher was like, she was taught, like, you always want to round out your edges before you go to bed. So it's kind of like, kind of smoothing out these like neural connections we have in our brain to kind of go to bed more restfully. And once you're done, when you look at the picture, it looks a lot like the neurons in our brain. And it's basically we are creating art that symbolizes and shows our emotions about a certain thing, and we are learning to take control of those neural processes. It's pretty cool, a little abstract, but it was fun and very mindful, and I actually really enjoyed it. So um, I can handle trolls just by myself, Lydia. No problem at all. So if you need to get some sleep, get some sleep. I don't want to, especially while you're not feeling well. I really don't. I really prefer you sleep. Just take care of yourself. Um, it's totally fine by me. I didn't make you a moderator just so that you know you you had to attend every single one of my lives and stay awake to protect me. I can I can handle it from here. So, yeah, wait, was I supposed to, oh, shit, yeah, no. Oops, I did that wrong. I'm gonna frog a little bit. Was I? No, I don't think. Don't you wish you can just, like, sometimes undo what you did because you done it? Okay. What did I do here? Oh, I put 3 stitches in between. I'm not supposed to do that. It was supposed to be just 1. Did I not do that? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, you don't need to stay awake. Lydia, you can go to bed. It's fine. So, yeah, it was a really cool practice, and I'm looking forward to going back to group and learning more about the process. And, I love learning new therapy techniques. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What just happened? Why is my count so weird? 7, 8. Okay. Okay, it's not weird. Yeah, no, you never need to stick around when you're not feeling well, or if you just don't want to. You never need to stick around. You're welcome here anytime, but I don't want you suffering for me. Okay? Um, so I'm going to do 2 rows of no increases or decreases. Take a little sippy because I'm dry from talking. Back to my trusty, huge ass vape. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen all the forms that this vape has taken. I never wanted to be that person who had this big of a vape, because I feel like the larger your vape, the more of a douchebag you look like, in general. But the small ones, they were all, like, either leaking or they just malfunctioned, like, all the time. And, like, so this is the only one I've had that has not had just, like, continuous problems. In fact, I haven't had really any problem with it. Knock on wood. So, so yeah. Um, and I like this because I can choose the nicotine level that I have in my vape. Now, with disposable vapes, you get what you get. Usually it's like 3%, 5%, something like that. With this, they custom blend a nicotine level for you. So you just ask for what you want. So, like, I think it's like up to a certain, like, milligram. And so, when I'm, like, quitting vaping nicotine, I'll go down to 0%. But when I have nicotine, I do 3%, which is the lowest they can do without being 0. I think it's just how much when you pump the thing. I don't know. But I don't get much nicotine into it, but I use it frequently, so it is more nicotine there. And then when I'm tapering down, I start mixing 3% and 0% in the same flavor so that I don't get any weird flavor mixes, but I just don't have any nicotine in it. And that tends to be better for everyone because I'm usually fine when I stop using nicotine. And then a week goes by and I become just a raging bitch. I'm just a horrendous bitch. Um, and I don't stay that way forever. It's usually a week or two after that. And then I go back to normal, but no one wants to be around me. Good night, Lydia. I hope you get some good rest. Um, so, for the sake of my marriage and any relationship I have with any human that exists, um, I try to taper down rather than quit cold turkey. I've quit cold turkey many times. I've picked it back up for various reasons. Um, but so I don't have like a physical problem quitting cold turkey. It's just the people around, for the sake of the people around me, it's probably better that I do a taper instead of um, quitting like that. Speaking of tapering, I kind of got some distressing information today, and I really was feeling a lot of emotions, and I really feel like I can't catch a break with really anything involving my bipolar, if I'm being honest. But like especially my medications, like I've been on such a roller coaster of meds the past several years, and it's so hard to treat. And um, like because like when your mood changes, your meds change, and because if your moods are swinging really big, it means that your meds aren't working. And sometimes you need a little bit more of a push up if you're depressed, and sometimes you need a little bit more of a push down if you're manic. And if you're having mixed episodes, you're fucked. And guess who has a lot of mixed episodes? This guy. Um, so, um, uh, I, um, I found out that my medicine has some side effects I was not aware of, and that is increased memory loss. And it started, I figured it out from a conversation I had with Mel today, and she was like, we were talking about cuddling. It's very vanilla. We're talking about cuddling in bed, and the other night she didn't want to cuddle me, and I instantly was like, she doesn't love me anymore. She doesn't even want to touch me. She thinks I'm gross. Like I literally went through every fucking negative self-talk in the book, and and I was really upset by this. Even though it was a small thing, it just kind of triggered a lot of other feelings in me. Um, Issues just that I have, like, from growing up and stuff like that. So, um, I, this morning she was like, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, really not doing well, and I really don't know how to talk about this because it sounds so silly to say, hey, you didn't want to cuddle me, and I felt really bad about it and stuff like that. But I finally got it out, and just in just kind of very the lightest way I could explain how I was feeling, right? And she she was like, so it was Thursday that she didn't want to cuddle, we cuddled on, no, it was on Thursday night. And on Saturday morning, we cuddled. But I had zero memory of this ever happening, like, at all. And I have a really bad memory. I've always had a pretty bad memory. It's definitely gotten worse with age, but this is a different thing entirely. So, I have something called dissociative amnesia, which is a type of dissociation, subtype of dissociation, where when emotions get really high, let's say I'm having an argument or something, I can just completely dissociate. I can act like I'm all there, and I will have no recollection of the argument or fight or anything. Like, it was so bad for years. I thought Mel and I never had an argument, and she was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, she like, in her own very kind way, she was like, "We do. I mean, we have like a healthy amount of arguments." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" So I realized that was happening. And then I also just, like, with my ADHD, between my ADHD and my PTSD, I just don't have a great memory. So, I but I have noticed a lot of other things that I'm like, did I do this? Did I take my morning meds? Like, I can't recall a time. I think only one time. Like, I take my meds every morning, right? But I can't remember actually taking them except for maybe once in the past several weeks. And that's a problem. Now pre I do I put together my meds. Mel's been helping me recently, but I have a pill organizer, so it's easy to see when I've taken a dose, in theory, or not. So I know that I've taken it, but I don't remember it. And this is happening a lot in the morning. And the medicine I'm on is an extended release medication, which means that its, like, half life is right when I, like, peaks right when I wake up. And meaning it's like the strongest in my system when I wake up. And so I looked up, is this a side effect of this medication? It is a very well documented side effect of this medication. And so I was like, fuck. So my attention went from, these feelings about Mel to, like, holy shit, I can't remember things. What? Like, I was pretty distraught at hearing that. And so I talked about it in group today. And of the 6 other people in the group with me, 2 of them had taken the same medicine, and both of them had increased memory loss. So, not that rare of side effect. And I am actually meeting with my doctor technically today. Technically in like 13 hours. Exactly. And we're working this up. So, what my doctor has been doing, for anyone who cares to know this level of information about me, so there are different classifications of prescription drugs that are often used to treat bipolar disorder. So one of those classifications is mood stabilizers. I've been on the same mood stabilizer pretty much the entire time I've been on meds. There have been periods of life when I've known bipolar and I haven't been medicated, but if I'm medicated, I have been on this mood stabilizer pretty much the entire time. So, another classification is an antipsychotic. And now this sounds pretty intimidating and intense, right? I mean, they're pretty intense drugs. I mean, they're all pretty intense drugs, if I'm being honest. But it doesn't mean you're psychotic if you take antipsychotics. Antipsychotics tend to be used for multiple different things. They're usually drugs that were developed for epilepsy, and they just happen to work really well in the bipolar brain and also schizophrenic brain, as far as I understand it. So the antipsychotic that I'm on, I thought was going well because I wasn't having any side effects, and I've had a lot of side effects from other antipsychotics. I'm really sensitive to them, so I've been through like a bevy of them, and this was the first one I didn't think I had a problem with. So this antipsychotic is also a mood stabilizer, and so my doctor has been decreasing my trusty mood stabilizer and increasing my antipsychotic / mood stabilizer in hopes of completely getting me off that mood stabilizer. I don't really know why. I think I asked once, but I don't remember the answer. But since then, she's been decreasing my mood stabilizer and increasing the antipsychotic. Well, the antipsychotic is the one that's causing the memory loss. So we're gonna have to repivot and do something different because clearly this is not a sustainable experience to have. I can't go through life just not remembering things anymore and take that as a tolerable side effect when I could get off of it and not have this problem anymore, right? And I watched this video on bipolar disorder, and part of it was on the development of lithium, which is the mood stabilizer I'm on. And it's a really old school med, but it's tried and true. A lot of doctors really like it. A lot of doctors really don't like it. It's got a lot of side effects. But in that discussion, where is it going with this? Oh, there was, he kind of posed the rhetorical question of, if lithium's so great, why do we keep on developing bipolar drugs? And so basically, if lithium didn't have any side effects, if you didn't constantly have to get your blood drawn to make sure that your lithium levels were appropriate in your bloodstream, then we wouldn't have to do that. But due to that fact, if it has any side effects or if you have to do any ongoing maintenance, there's always room for improvement. And that's his approach to it. Take it or leave it. So in this case, because there are side effects, I should have some other things to try. I recently did it's called so there are different companies that do it, but the company I used was called GeneSight. Like gene as in you have your parents' genes in your body, and sight as in you can see. And it's one word. And they do genetic testing on all classifications of psychotropic drugs. So everything that will be prescribed to anyone with any mental issues, as far as I understand. I don't know. Now, not all drugs have genetic markers for them, which I found out. Thought it was very interesting to get my results. Insurance did help pay for mine, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. But yeah, it did give us some insight as to things I can take and things I can't take. This is particularly helpful around the antipsychotic range because I had such strong reactions to other antipsychotics that I've taken. We really, really wanted to make sure that that I could take the antipsychotic that I was on, which it said in my genes that I was fine, but that doesn't mean you won't develop side effects. It's just that the genetic marker for that particular drug was like, will bond with this or something. I don't really know. I frankly don't know how the test works. But all I know is I sent in a cheek swab, or 2 cheek swabs, and they gave me some results. So yeah, so she was pretty hopeful at seeing my results. There are a lot of drugs I can't take, but there are a lot of drugs that I can. So that's nice that I have options. Um, uh, I'm gonna do back loop only on this one. Yeah, so yeah, that's what's been going on in my life and in my head. A lot of bullshit. My agoraphobia has been just fucking ridiculous lately. Just absolutely bonkers. It's just getting harder and harder to function normally. I don't even know this if I can even say that I am functioning normally, you know. I mean, I definitely think that I am on the right path with my disability hearing coming up, but it's just, things have been so difficult. So, not to get too down on y'all, right before I sign off, but, if you ask how I'm doing, I'll probably say, not so great, or I've had some ups and downs, but truthfully, it's just been a hellacious hellscape of hellacious hellscape. Oxymoron much. Of just like ups and downs and fucking all arounds, and I'm fucking tired. I just want something to be easy for once. I just want simple. Can anything in my life be simple? And and right now it doesn't feel like that. And I know that's just the cynic in me kind of being fed up, but um, it's just really difficult. And I know a lot of people deal with mental issues, deal with physical issues, interpersonal issues, work issues, all these types of things. And so I know I'm not alone in like struggling with like daily things, but it's just really hard when you just kind of never saw your life going down this path, and here you are, and you're like, fuck, this is a mess. So I actually just finished the scrotum. Took me an hour and 14 minutes. Um, Even with all that jibber jabbering, the color pulling actually looks super cool right now. Usually on the shaft is where it gets a little dicey. But for some reason, uh, this yarn is working up a lot differently than it has in the past. Dialogues, I don't know. But I'm going to end it there. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. I've been talking all fucking day, and I'm tired of it. So, I hope that you all have a great evening, morning, whenever you're watching this, whatever you're doing. And I just hope you have a good one and take care of yourself. I know a lot of people are getting sick with the weather changing, and so please just take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough rest, make sure you get enough water, make sure you get enough coffee. I'm just getting the last one, although coffee is important, let's be honest. Make sure you're doing stuff that makes you happy. If crocheting makes you happy, make sure you're crocheting if you can. If painting makes you happy, if anything like that makes you happy, just fucking go for it. Life's too short to just give a fuck about being unhappy. So crocheting makes me happy. Talking to you all makes me happy. So that's why I do these lives. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being good listeners. And I will talk to you soon. Love you all very, very much.